Good Time Gaming.
What's up guys, Saxon from Good Time Gaming, and today I'm bringing you guys a new build. This one's focused in the Mastermind tree, and makes use of the domination skills to get you 2 sweet law enforcement buddies. Now I'll say this, that as far as this build goes, it's not the most effective one in the world. Dominated cops, even after they've been kind of buffed and made better, still aren't really that amazing and great. But it's different, it's fun, it's a new way to play, and I hope you guys will enjoy it and think it's cool. Let's get started. Alright guys, starting out here in Mastermind, we'll take the first rank of Combat Medic. Doing so will give us a 30% damage reduction for 5 seconds both after and during reviving another player, so it's very good. Next up we will ace Quick Fix. The basic version decreases the first aid and doctor bag deployment time by 50%, and acing will make it so that crew members that use our first aid kit or doc bags take 15% less damage for 2 minutes. You can either do Quick Fix or Painkiller, doesn't really matter, just a matter of preference. Next up we have Combat Doctor. Now I've opted to do doctor bags with this one, but you can just as easily go over here and do uppers and take first aid kits. But with Combat Doctor, basically you get 2 doctor bags, and they also have 2 more charges each. So you have 2 doctor bags for a total of 8 charges. And last but not least, we have Inspire. Basic Inspire makes it so that you revive crew members 50% faster, and shouting at them, which is done by holding down F or whatever your use key is, will increase their movement speed by 20% for 10 seconds. So that's helpful for if you need to move a lot of bags, or if you need to help get a team member out of some fire. That's a great way to do it. And then acing will make it so there's a 100% chance that you can revive crew members at a distance by shouting at them. This cannot occur more than once every 20 seconds. I think this is probably with the first build that I've done so far where I've taken Inspire, because Inspire has kind of been nerfed into the ground. In some ways it's good that happened, because it used to be you could just shout at people as much as you want to, and they would eventually get up and then you could just go on. So I think it's kind of a good thing that's been nerfed, because it encourages smarter play and not like recklessness. We'll go over here into Controller, we'll take the first rank of Forced Friendship. This will increase our supply of cable ties by 4, and we can also cable tie hostages 35% faster. We'll go ahead and ace Confident. Basic version will make it so that our power and range of our intimidation is increased by 50%, and acing will make it so that we can have 2 converted enemies at the same time. We will ace Joker. Doing so will allow us to convert a non-special enemy, so just the regular cops, not like tasers or cloakers, to fight on our side. Acing will make it so that the enemy takes 55% less damage and deals 45% more damage. It also takes 65% less time to convert the enemy. We will ace Partners in Crime. Basic version increases our movement speed by 10% whenever we have a converted enemy. And furthermore, the converted enemy takes 45% less damage. This does not stack with Joker damage reduction, but multiplies. Acing will make it so that our converted enemy increases our health by 30%. Pretty handy. Additionally, our converted enemy takes an additional 45% less damage. This does not stack with Joker damage reduction, but again, multiplies. And last but not least, we have Hostage Taker. Basic version makes it so that having at least 1 hostage or converted law enforcer makes us regenerate 1.5% health every 5 seconds, and if we ace it, that goes up to 4.5%. Now, the Hostage Taker one here is in some ways optional, because we're going to have another way to regenerate our health, depending on what your perk deck is that you choose, because there's a lot of different ones you can pick for this one. You may or may not want to go ahead and take Hostage Taker. I've been going ahead and bringing it, and I've been liking what I've been getting out of it. So for my build and how I'm going to present this build to start with, I'm going to keep it in my build. We now go over into Enforcer. We will ace Underdog. By acing Underdog, we will gain 15% damage reduction and 15% more damage whenever we have 3 or more enemies within 18 meters of us. This lasts for 7 seconds. We will ace Resilience. This will increase our armor recovery rate by 15% and reduce the visual effect duration of flashbangs by 75%. We'll take Basic Shock and Awe to increase the armor recovery rate for us and our crew members by 25%. And we will ace Bullseye to make it so that each successful headshot regenerates 25 armor. This can occur once every 2 seconds. And last but not least, we go up into the top tier to ace Iron Man. This increases our total armor value by 30% and unlocks the improvised combined tactical vest to use. That's the heavy armor. We will now go over into Ghost and take the first rank of Duck and Cover under Artful Dodger. Our stamina starts generating 25% earlier and 25% faster, and we also sprint 25% faster. We're using heavy armor, so the more movement speed we have, the better. And last but not least, we will go ahead and ace Parkour. We will gain 10% additional movement speed and 20% increased speed while climbing, and the ace version allows us to run in any direction and run and reload at the same time. So if you guys notice, we have 19 points left over. This is like for your weapon skill. You can really go with whatever you want to here. You could go ahead and go single shots if you wanted, or sharpshooter. You could go ahead and do shotguns. I've actually been using automatic weapons, so I would actually go in here like this to go through this tree like that, leaving me 4 points to kind of do whatever I want to with those. So again, weapon doesn't really matter. It's whatever you guys prefer, whatever you guys enjoy. But for the purpose of this video, this demonstration, I'm going to be using assault weapons. So we now find ourselves in the primary weapons tab. Again, weapons don't really matter that much. I've been using a CAR 4 for the last little bit because I kind of haven't used it in a while. You could use the UAR, you could use Lion's Roar, you could use the Cavity, you could use the Clarion. It doesn't matter. Pick whatever you want, whatever you like to use. The same thing goes for your secondary. Depending on what you pick for your primary, you may want to go ahead and bring like the Judge shotgun with HE rounds, or some way to deal with shields, just to kind of get rid of them, because they can be kind of a pain in the ass. And they can also screw up your buddy cops pretty easily, because, you know, the buddy cops won't try and flank them, because they're not very smart. But here's what I've been using, guys. I've been using a CAR 4 rifle and a Krinkov submachine gun for my weapon. Now, one thing I'm going to talk about here is melee weapon, and it's something I almost never talk about. For the purpose of a domination minion build, you want to have either the buzzer or the electrical brass knuckles. The reason for this is because we do not want to kill the cops we're trying to intimidate. Whenever you punch a cop with the electrical brass knuckles or with the buzzer, they're going to get like kind of frozen up for a little bit and get shocked. This is the perfect time to yell at them and try to get them to surrender. Keep in mind that not every cop will surrender, not every enemy will give in. Sometimes you can yell at them all you want to and they're just not going to surrender, you just have to kill them. But the ones that are going to surrender pretty easily. Pretty easy kind of way to look at it is that if you hit one of these guys with the buzzer at close range and you yell at them, and they come out, they're still not giving up, they're probably not going to give up. So don't sit there and get shot in the face and get cloaked or whatever, trying to get some guy to surrender is just not going to do it. Now, I told you guys that as far as the perk deck goes, you have a lot of options here, and you really do. You could totally go with muscle. By having muscle, you'll be able to intimidate cops with your weapons, because you'll be shooting, they'll get panicked and they'll cower. You'll have a lot more health too, and you'll have health regen if you max that all the way, so that's good. You could go with armor. You'll have a bunch more armor, you have faster armor regeneration. That means that, you know, you can get out there, yell at some cops, take some damage, and still be alive. Totally an option there. You could go sociopath, kind of for the same reasons as muscle, except that, you know, you have armor regeneration through shooting people, and you can also get a little bit of health back if you kill people with your melee. So that's an option. You could do gambler if you want to. Pick up ammo boxes, get health back, all that good stuff. You could even go down and take biker if you have that. Health and armor regeneration for kills. However, the one that I have selected, and I will defend my choice now, is Infiltrator. Let me tell you why. So with Infiltrator, when you're within medium range of an enemy, so just even one single enemy, you get 8% less damage. So you take 8% less damage if there's one guy within medium range of you. You get that bonus a lot of times here, okay? You get that right here. You get 8, 16, 24. You have up to 32% damage reduction if you are fully maxed out in Infiltrator. Now keep in mind here that the Overdog one, which is the third to last one, you only get that 8% bonus if you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies. So you have to have a few more guys around you to get that one. But pretty easy to at least get the 24%. Also really nice, and also a big reason to take this versus another tree, is Life Drain, which is the final portion of Infiltrator. Striking an enemy with your melee weapon regenerates 20% of your health. This cannot occur more than once every 10 seconds. Now, if you spend any amount of time playing a cop domination build, or you've ever tried to get an enemy to surrender, chances are you probably got shot quite a bit doing that. One of the big problems with domination builds is that sometimes players will just sit there and yell at people, and they'll sit there and try and get this cop to surrender, and they'll either get downed or they'll lose a lot of health trying to do it. And it's just completely stupid and pointless and worthless to do that. With Infiltrator, you have a little bit more buffer against that, right? Because you have less damage you're going to take, and whenever you do go to tase that enemy or to punch them, to try and get them to surrender, you're getting 20% of your health back just like that. You can do it every 10 seconds. Really, really good skill, really powerful. I think it synergizes very well with what you're trying to do with this build. For this reason too, you can also opt to not ace Hostage Shaker, because you'll get plenty of health regen through this. You can put those points somewhere else if you want to. It's also worth mentioning that you can actually hurt your buddy cops, even when they've been converted. If you punch one of them, you can actually get health back. So it's kind of like having a mobile health kit with you. It's pretty amazing, actually. So yeah, I would definitely go with Infiltrator. This one comes with the Dragon pack, so if you don't have that, you're not going to have this perk deck available. But this is my #1 recommendation. After that, I would probably say maybe Armorer after that, or Muscle. They'd probably tie for second and third. But Infiltrator is definitely #1 choice. Damage reduction plus health. What can you possibly want after that? Alright, so you see here I'm on Meltdown. Normally I kind of string a whole bunch of clips together, but it's kind of hard to do that with this one. because basically I'm trying to demonstrate how well the dominated cops are able to fight. So you can see here right now a great example of a cop that will not give up. I tased him, I yelled at him, he was not giving up. At that point, there's pretty much no chance that he will give up. It's best just to move on. If they're going to surrender, they're going to surrender pretty easily. Obviously, the more damage that you put on them, the higher the chance is to surrender. But even then, I mean, just a single taser, a couple yells, that should do it if they're going to surrender. So what we're doing here is that I'm going to get 2 converts, and then I'm going to go inside of the little vault area and just sit there and kind of let you guys see how well these guys are able to hold up. You'll notice I am playing on Death Wish here, and I'm getting shot at by quite a few cops, and I'm not taking a whole lot of damage from any of them. That damage reduction is pretty amazing, it's pretty sweet, and it definitely makes it a lot easier to get converts without losing too much health. Alright, so we're now in the vault. One thing that's important to know is that you can only have 1 extra cop dominated for every player in the game. So right now I'm playing solo, so I can only dominate 1 other cop aside from these 2, because you can only have 1 that's on the ground surrendered. If I had 4 people here with me, then I could have 4 on the ground. It's based on the total number of players. You'll notice here as I'm fighting, I'll sometimes taser enemies just to go ahead and get my health back. But even still, I'm not taking tons of damage throughout this entire time here. So I throw down a Molotov just to kind of help out a little bit. Didn't really need to. You can see me kind of struggling against the shield. That's where I said it might be helpful to have HE rounds, or maybe use shotgun and have an AP slug shotgun somewhere in there, or HE rounds. Something to get through the damn shields. As far as which cops to dominate, the stronger the cop that you can get, the better the minion it's going to be. The more health it's going to have. The lower health cops aren't going to have a whole lot of HP, but they'll do good damage. Basically, just try and get the strongest one you can. Don't worry too much about getting just the perfect ones, because they're going to die anyways. It's just how it happens. They're going to die, you're going to have to replace them anyways. Most maps you're not going to be sitting around in a little controlled area like this. You're going to be moving around, running around. So they're going to have a much higher chance to die. So you can see they definitely do some serious work. They're not being, beat up or killed by any means. They're actually doing pretty well. So you can see here a great example of what I was talking about earlier, being able to use your minions as basically just little mobile health kits. You watch here as I taser my minion, and instantly I get 20% of my health back. And that once every 10 seconds, and having a low damage melee weapon like the taser or the buzzer makes it so he doesn't really take a whole lot of damage. It doesn't really hurt him that much. It's kind of like if you ever seen movies where like vampires, they keep like humans alive as slaves, use as cattle basically. It's kind of like that. He's like your own personal cattle that you get to bring with you. Twilight fans should be able to appreciate that. Remember guys to always try and have 2 minions at all times. This build is basically built around minions. You have a lot of points being put into minions. And if you don't have at least 1 minion running around with you, you're wasting tons of points that could be used on something else. So again, not probably the most effective build in the world. It does work, and it can work very well in Death Wish as well. Having the minions to help distract cops and being able to regenerate your health, plus having the huge damage mitigation from your infiltrator skills. It works very well, and it can work very well. But just be mindful that you're only as good as your ability to keep and contain. Bear in mind, you're only as strong as your ability to maintain minions. So hope you guys will check this one out. Let me know what you guys think if you do try it. I believe this brings us up to 10 build videos now. And good news is I still have a few more that I want to do. So you guys be on the lookout for those. Let me know what you guys think of Domination. Let me know what you guys think of this build and my build so far. What's been your favorite one so far? Please let me know. If you watched this far, then I would like it if you would check out my recent Rogue Squadron videos. I'm doing a full Let's Play of Rogue Squadron. And it'd be super cool if some of you guys check that out and just let me know what you thought of it. If you thought it was really old, stupid, tell me. That's cool too. But just check it out. It's on the channel. I'll see you guys there. This is Saxon Good Time Gaming. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like anything you saw today. Remember to always have a good time gaming.